and welcome to SOLIDWORKS Skills Video.
This video is a supplement to two other videos that I provided which talk about how to create configurations. In this particular case, I'll be working with material. It's V-bar that's provided by OpenBuilds, and as you currently see it here, I've cut back the length to my first boss extrude. Let's do a quick walkthrough to see, get you up to speed on how I got to where I am right now. As provided from OpenBuilds, you get sketches, SolidWorks models of their parts in stock length, and this is a length. I'll do evaluate measure. You can see that as it came in, it's 500 millimeters. So we need to, in order to make useful configurations, I want to cut this back to a very short length. I'll choose an inch. You can choose whatever makes sense for you. And so that's what I've done here. I added a couple of reference planes, and the first thing I do is, you see I'm dragging down the line here, is that I've extruded the thing to within 1 inch of the far end. I'll briefly show how I did that. There's a sketch that I created which is a converted entity version of the cross section, and the only thing to be aware of here is that when you're doing a convert of a thing like this, it tends to avoid the interior shapes. So I do the outside, it would avoid the interior, so I have to add those separately. Fine. So let's say I've got this sketch. I'll allow it to do the cut extrude, and let's look at the features of the cut extrude itself. That let's edit feature, and you can see the selected cross section is that converted entity, and I'm going to do a cut extrude up to, instead of just a blind thing, I'm going to do an offset from surface. The surface is this face right here, and it's 1 inch out. So I'm going to cut off everything up to 1 inch off of that face, and here I am with my cut extrude. Then I will do an initial boss extrude where I take that and then pull it back out 1 inch. Again, these numbers are not magical, they just happen to be useful for what I'm doing. And what I'm creating is my first extrude that I can then utilize in a design table. This particular boss extrude, again, it uses that same sketch, and a sketch of the cross section, which I created in a similar fashion. There again, I just repeated that, did a convert entities. There's the center, and then I let it do it. The feature itself is much like the cut extrude I did a moment ago. Is I arbitrarily chose that I'm going to have it be 2 inches from that same original face, this face back here. So a 2 inch offset from surface, and there I am with my boss extrude. So now I have a 2 inch starting point, and much like the other video, I've gone into configurations. I've created a design table, and as you can see here, there are 3 configurations that I created, and the original 2 inch, an 8 inch, and a 10 inch. So long story short, what I'm trying to show here is how to go into an existing design table and to change or delete or add configurations. So I right click on the design table. If, by the way, if it shows up like this, which in other words you can't see the table, just click the right arrow. There's the design table. I right click on it. I'm going to edit the table, and it's updating it, and now it's ready for me to do some changes. Let's make the right column a little wider briefly, and I'm going to add a 12 inch. Let's say I want a 12 inch version of this. So I go into the name column, I'll type in 12 inch. This is what I'll see later when I select, and then I'll put in the actual data, which is 12. So I've coordinated the two, and let's say that that's all I wanted to do. Fine, I would click on the OK mark, but let's say that I also want to delete one, so I could delete a column, a row I mean, or I could change a name or change a value. All of these things you would do in this same context. So let's say I'm done. I'll click on the checkbox. It works on it. It says, well, I've created the following configuration. What it shows here is the name that I typed in, or 12-inch. And you'll see that it now shows up as an available configuration. It's not currently selected. If I want to select it, I can. I'll double click on that, and sure enough, there's the 12-inch. You can see 12-inch showing up as the dimension, and I can even confirm that by doing evaluate and measure. And if I go to inch units, let's go to inch here, inches. There it is. It's 12 inches long. All right, so in this manner you can, just to summarize, you can observe what the table is. You can right click on it to just see what's there. You can add items, you can delete items, and you can modify existing items. And I hope this is useful to you.
Thank you for watching. This video is part of a series created by Neil Rosenberg and Joseph Caswell. All rights reserved.